Ooh. All right, thank you very much, Jenna. When Heinz rolls out its new ad, it won't be credited to a hotshot ad man, but a 25-year-old student and video producer from Chicago. And instead of costing hundreds of thousands of dollars, Heinz got the spot for a mere $57,000. That's $1,000 for every Heinz variety. And the prize money the company gave to the winner of the contest, who created the commercial. In today's Brand X, the changing face of advertising, are these contests and viral ads a threat to Madison Avenue ad firms? We'll talk about that. Joining us to discuss this is the Heinz contest winner, Matthew Koza. He's the VP. Also joining us is the VP of Ketchup at Heinz, David Ciesinski. And also joining us is an expert in the advertising world and the author of Accidental Branding. His name is David Vinjamuri. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Matthew, let's get started with you. You're the big winner. You took home a nice big check of $57,000. Why did you decide to enter the contest, and tell us about your ad?
Well, it's kind of by chance, actually. Some friends and I were at a restaurant, and we didn't have ketchup on our table, so we grabbed it from the next table over, and it happened to have the contest advertisement on it. So that's how we found out about it. We started throwing ideas around and then just decided to make it happen before the deadline, even though it was kind of cutting it close. And what we ended up with was a great commercial, and it's basically, the concept is kind of what I just said, where people come into a restaurant and they keep stealing ketchup off the next table until there's no ketchup left, and then the couple that sits down kind of freak out. They can't find the ketchup. Everyone around them's enjoying it, and then the waitress comes by, drops a bottle on the table, and then the tagline comes up, "Now we can eat," and they're relieved.
Very cool commercial. I like it. David C., because I got a David V and a C, and both of your last names are complicated. So let me go to you, David.
Sure.
Why did you decide to create this contest, and what were your hopes and expectations, and were they exceeded?
You know, Alexis, Heinz has a long-standing history of engaging with our consumers, going back to 1999 when we launched our Talking Label campaign. In about 2001, we put a twist on that, where we asked consumers to tell us what they wanted to see on our labels. So as the internet started to go mainstream and YouTube became popular, it seemed only natural for us to launch a campaign here. And our criteria from the onset was simple: make us laugh, make us cry, and most of all, make us want to eat Heinz ketchup.
All right, David V., you're sitting with me here in studio. What do you make of this? Is user-generated content, you know, Heinz has been at this game for a while, and there are other brands that do it, not all. Is this the new wave of the future? Is this going to continue to grow, or is this a fad?
I think it's a bit of both, actually. In the past year and a half, we've seen a tremendous amount of consumer-generated video. There were 3 spots on the Super Bowl last year and a couple this year that were consumer-generated. And this is a great thing for Heinz, because it was both a promotion, which got a lot of attention, and they got a really good ad out of it. And Mr. Koza is actually an award-winning documentary filmmaker, so they would have had to pay a little bit more than $57,000
to get this done.
Yeah.
You know, David V. here with me in the studio. Let me ask you this question. There are a lot of people who suggest that the advertising for the internet, like the pre-rolls, things of that nature, are stale. They're old Madison Avenue, that what needs to be done on the internet versus on the television screen may be 2 different things, and that the user-generated content, or what the user has in terms of the say of the brand, is more and more important, particularly on the internet. Where do you fall in that category? Do you believe in that?
I think it's absolutely true. The internet has to be a more interactive experience, and sticking up 15 seconds of something nobody wants to see before something that they want to see is not a very good way of interrupting their day. So I think more customized things and more consumer-generated ads will be very helpful.
David C., let me turn back to you. Obviously, you've had good success with this. Where will you run these ads, and will you do this again?
Well, Alexis, right now we've entered into an agreement with the Food Network and Fine Living, where over the course of the next 3 months we're going to be running the ads quite extensively, prime time, daytime, as well as on weekends. We can't say for sure whether or not we're going to be going into a contest like this again, but what we can say unequivocally is that we intend to engage our consumers. I think, as David pointed out, consumers put a lot more trust in what they hear from their peers, from their neighbors, from their friends, from their family members. And this provides a forum for us to engage in that dialogue and allow our consumers that we know love our product to tell their friends about that love.
All right, Matthew, let me turn back to you. $57,000. What are you going to do with the money? And are you going to keep making commercials?
Those are good questions. So far, I haven't really come up with what I'm going to do with the money because it was so unexpected that we won the grand prize. But really, it was just a huge PR effort once we got the in the semifinals, and now that we've won, we're kind of just decompressing and relaxing, and now we can finally think about what this actually means for not only just our savings account but for careers of the people that helped me make it.
All right, I just want to know, do you use Heinz ketchup all the time? Because I use Heinz ketchup like for breakfast, for eggs, for French fries, for cheeseburgers.
I definitely use it a lot, especially since I shot this commercial, because I think I accumulated about 15 bottles of it. So I think we're down to maybe 5 left or so. So
all right, well, enjoy your ketchup
through that.
And enjoy your winnings. And David, and Matthew, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have much more Money for Breakfast on the way. When we come back, we'll tell you the one thing you should know. Stay with us.